When they start talking, when the people that who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get them. I'ma beat his ass.
He can't do shit.
For real. I better be quiet.
You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, don't have you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like,
rematch say you fought 0. What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, that's a good question. It's gonna be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't give me the win, and I have room. I definitely have room.
Tensions erupted as Gervonta "Tank" Davis stormed into the press conference, delivering a fiery and unfiltered warning to Lamont Roach. Asterisk, I'm going to end him in front of everyone. Asterisk, the room crackled with intensity, raw emotion, and unresolved animosity hanging heavy in the air. As the two locked eyes, cameras flashed, and fans leaned in, captivated by the drama. Davis wasn't there to play mind games. He came to send a message. What followed was a heated verbal clash that ignited the boxing world, setting the stage for a grudge match driven by pride, rivalry, and a thirst for redemption.
What's good, guys? Red Corner Boxing here. So the Ring magazine has today confirmed that Gervonta "Tank" Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr. 2 will take place on August 16th in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a great fight. We need to see it again. Who wins it and how, lads? Let us know here on Red Corner Boxing.
Promoter Gary Jonas shed some light on the negotiations for the rematch. While he didn't give too many details, Jonas did say that the second bout between Davis and Roach Jr. is all but finalized. Let's hear what he got to say right now.
Important question on everyone's mind: how close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
Very close. It's in my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal, and it's not far off.
The highly anticipated rematch between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., originally set for June 21st, 2025 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, has been postponed. The delay was primarily due to Davis requesting more time to properly prepare, believing he needed additional training to be at his peak. Compounding the situation were financial difficulties faced by premier boxing champions, the event's promoter, which further impacted the scheduling. As a result, the fight has been rescheduled for August 16th, 2025, with Las Vegas still set to host the bout. The rematch carries high stakes, following the controversy and unresolved tension of their first fight, which ended in a disputed draw.
How you think one coming up with Tank?
I hope he don't fight Lamont, actually. Like, I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me. So, it's going to look like somebody else already did it.
You want Tank to knock you out, yo.
I
heard him say, like, yo, I want to fight Tank, and that's nice, but why do you want Tank to knock you out so bad? Like,
look, that sound good. That sound real good, but she's too little.
Too little.
I promise you.
Lamont is signed and ready to go for the rematch, correct?
Y'all Tank play so many head games, it's not even funny. Let me tell you something, bro. Lamont Roach has never been this big of a fighter before. Everyone knows Lamont Roach now. So he could be reaping the benefits of just enjoying his status of having that draw with Tank, while Tank is the one with the eye of the tiger. Tank is probably in the gym training his ass off. And then sign the contract, like, all right, we got to fight when? June. Oh, shit! Let's hurry up and dash your ass. Sugar Ray Leonard did that to Roberto Duran. Duran was told that he had a fight in a couple weeks, and he was like, dude, I'm 190 pounds in Panama. Which is why Roberto Duran was out of shape in the No Mas fight and was like, no mas. So Tank could be over there working, sign the contract in 3 weeks, and all of a sudden Lamont Roach got to put a training camp together.
Their first clash on March 1st, 2025, at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn ended in a majority draw, leaving fans and analysts sharply divided. One judge scored the fight 115 to 113 in favor of Davis, while the other two had it even at 114 to 114. The bout was highly competitive, but controversy erupted in the 9th round when Davis took a knee following a jab from Roach. The referee chose not to rule it a knockdown, a decision that ignited heated debate among boxing enthusiasts and added even more fuel to the rivalry heading into the rematch.
For me, Tank Davis fighting a -1600 as your main event odds is crazy to me, dude.
That's crazy. That underdog lived up to the hype. He ended up, overperforming. Lamont Roach, credit to him, all this other stuff. And it took some politics to keep Davis as champion. You ever see guys getting the referee their own fight? Dude, anybody else takes that knee, you're getting counted, bro. The referee, actually, his instinct, if you watch that, the referee's instinct was to count. If you notice, Steve Willis started counting, and then he looked at the timekeeper outside the ring, wasn't counting, and he stopped counting. So you get to call your own timeout. Earlier in the fight, if you saw that shoulder barge that Tank did to Roach in the clinch, he didn't get a warning, but Roach's reaction got the warning. This is the politics we're dealing with. You keep doing this, you're looking at short-term money and long-term destruction of a sport.
Davis attributed his underwhelming performance to several distractions, including irritation from hair products that affected his vision and the unexpected absence of ring girls, which he claimed threw off his focus. Despite these factors, Davis took ownership of his performance, admitting, "I could have definitely done more. That's my fault." His candid reflection added another layer of intrigue to the build-up for the rematch, as he vowed to come back sharper and more prepared.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face. That's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my business.
Critics argue that Davis intentionally took a knee in the 9th round against Roach, not due to damage from the jab, but as a strategic move to disrupt Roach's rhythm and regain control of the fight. By voluntarily going down, Davis may have been buying himself a few extra seconds to recover rather than risking being overwhelmed by Roach's sudden offensive surge. Many fans and analysts have labeled the move a calculated veteran tactic, designed to halt Roach's momentum and shift the pace of the bout in Davis's favor.
And to go ahead and keep it real with y'all, I think that knee that Tank took was because Lamont Roach was in a rhythm and Gervonta Davis tried to throw this man off a rhythm. Do I believe the Murray's sport waves, the soul glow was in his eye? Absolutely not. I believe that man Tank got nervous and said, hold on, this man Lamont Roach is cooking. I need to take me a quick timeout and a quick break. It's nasty, it's horrible, it's disgusting. It's bad enough how hard and difficult it is to beat this man. Most fighters is weight trained. Most fighters has clauses on them. So when somebody who's coming up is able to compete with Gervonta Tank Davis, you handicap the man with trash rulings.
Davis later clarified that the incident in the 9th round stemmed from a hair treatment he had undergone 2 days before the fight. He explained that grease from the treatment mixed with his sweat during the bout, causing a burning sensation in his eyes that forced him to take a knee. Addressing the audience's reaction during the post-fight interview, Davis voiced his frustration over the boos, insisting that his actions were a genuine response to the unexpected irritation, not a deliberate attempt to manipulate the fight or stall Roach's momentum.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on?
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than But I didn't really know that you can get disqualified for all that, or when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
The explanation offered by Davis has drawn mixed reactions from fans and analysts alike. While some sympathize with his account of eye irritation caused by hair product, others argue that the incident in the 9th round should have been officially ruled a knockdown, regardless of the cause. The controversy has only intensified as the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, has officially launched a review of the fight's outcome. According to Boxing Kingdom, technical difficulties initially delayed an immediate evaluation of the crucial 9th round moment when Davis took a knee. Many contend that had the sequence been ruled a knockdown in Roach's favor, it could have shifted the scorecards and changed the result of the fight.
Even without the knee, that should have been a knockdown. I thought I should have won a competitive fight. I think I did what I needed to do necessary to bank the rounds. I'm just a little frustrated with the scorecards. I thought I should have won.
Following the controversial draw, Roach's team filed an appeal with the Athletic Commission seeking to overturn the decision. The appeal focused on a critical moment in the 9th round when Davis took a knee after receiving a jab from Roach. Referee Steve Willis began a count, but inexplicably stopped at 3, allowing Davis to return to his corner. There, his trainer wiped his eyes, an action that violates boxing regulations. Davis later claimed he went down because grease from his hair had impaired his vision.
It ain't no time outside boxing. Why are you taking it? You know that. You should know that. So that's the thing where I'm like confused because that's supposed to be a knockdown. That's a 10-8 round. If that's a 10-8 round, I win the fight. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that draw turned into a 115, 114 my way.
Going in, okay, it's round 10, right? You see that you down on the scorecard.
George Kambosos Jr. didn't hold back in his criticism of Gervonta Davis following Davis's controversial draw against Lamont Roach Jr. Kambosos praised Roach's outstanding performance, highlighting his skill, heart, and resilience in the ring. He was particularly impressed by Roach's ability to push Davis, something few fighters have managed to do. Reflecting on the bout, Kambosos questioned whether Davis is truly capable of competing at the elite level. The fight was clouded by controversy, especially in the 9th round when Davis took a knee but was not ruled as having suffered knockdown. The incident sparked widespread debate, with many in the boxing world believing Roach had done enough to earn the win.
Make it that fight on the weekend, what'd you make of the controversy in that one?
Look, I had just finished my recovery sessions. I was pretty docile and relaxed, and then the fight, especially at the start of it, wasn't too thrilling and too action-packed, so I was starting to doze off a little bit, but I woke up a little bit more when obviously Lamont started giving him some work, and he looked good, man. I got to give respect to Lamont Roach. He proved a lot of guys wrong. I think he shocked Tank a lot with what he was able to bring, and again, we saw the controversy with the knee. To me, that's a knockdown. You can't just take a knee and decide to, go to your corner and get your face wiped. So, if that's a 10-8 round, Lamont wins the fight. So it's unfortunate, but that's the fight game. Hopefully they'll do it again and he gets paid, what he's worth.
Have you ever seen anything like that in boxing before? A guy sort of just voluntarily.
We've seen Floyd take a knee and be put on the count. We've seen Miguel Cotto.
Jake Paul has confirmed that if Gervonta Davis wins his rematch against Lamont Roach, they will resume negotiations for a potential exhibition bout. Despite a significant weight difference, Paul competes at cruiserweight, 195 pounds, while Davis fights at lightweight, 135 pounds. The proposed match would be a 10-round exhibition. The fight was initially close to being finalized, but was delayed due to Davis's draw with Roach. If both fighters win their upcoming bouts, the exhibition could take place later this year. For his rematch, Tank Davis is sparing no effort. He has teamed up with Kenny Ellis, one of boxing's most respected trainers known for his discipline and keen attention to detail. Ellis brings structure and intensity to every training session. Under his guidance, Tank is refining his technique and building endurance, determined not to repeat past mistakes. Ellis is expected to be in Tank's corner on fight night, making strategic adjustments in real time. The combination of Ellis's strict training approach and Davis's determination promises a far more dangerous version of Tank than fans have seen before.
But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
How real or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing? Was that something that was talked about?
Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
Reuniting with Coach Calvin Ford brings a unique energy to Tank Davis's camp. Their connection goes far beyond boxing. It's built on years of trust and shared experience. Coach Calvin has been instrumental in guiding Tank's rise in the sport, transforming his raw talent into a polished, formidable fighter. Behind every major victory Davis has achieved, Coach Calvin has been there quietly pulling the strings and shaping his success.
Doing the interview circuit, right, kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all that. You know, he says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing. And the fight is going to be similar, but hey, the fight at the same time is going to be very different. Now, I just happen to have a very good friend named Phoenix the Assassin who breaks down fights for me. He's a trainer, got a world-class eye for fights. And what he speculated should be the difference between the first fight and the second fight for Gervonta is that Gervonta is going to need to spend a lot more time fighting on the outside and scoring points for a longer period of time on the outside, and then making sure that and basically forcing Lamont Roach to try to initiate something with slower hands, score his points, and get out. And he said the reason that he believes that Lamont Roach would be able to do that.
Veteran boxing commentator Jim Lampley expressed skepticism about Lamont Roach Jr.'s chances in their rematch even before the initial fight took place. Lampley highlighted Davis's crafty southpaw style, clever footwork, and evident killer instinct. He emphasized Davis's devastating punching power, comparing his knockouts to those of a young Mike Tyson. While acknowledging Roach as a highly skilled boxer, Lampley suggested that he would struggle to match Davis's overall prowess in the ring.
All right, Sean Patel here with the legendary Jim Lampley, PPV.com, and called a controversial draw tonight. The crowd inside Barclays, they did not like it. What did you think of the verdict, Jim? Was it the right call?
An upset draw is always a mixed bag for fans, for people in the sport, etc., etc. I thought it was, in essence, the right decision. The only question about whether the upset draw is justified is whether Steve Willis erred in not deducting a point in a late round when Tank Davis appeared to touch the canvas with his hand. And, that is going to stay in the woodwork and haunt the fight in the breach a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's a setback in Tank's career and for his reputation. I think most observers expected him to knock Roach out, particularly because Roach was moving up from 130 to 135. Sometimes when a fighter moves up in weight, he gets stronger, and it looked as though maybe Roach did get stronger and had a greater ability to resist Tank's power than other opponents have had, because Tank did tag him with a lot of clean shots.
Roberto Diaz, advisor to Lamont Roach Jr., acknowledged the formidable challenge that Gervonta Davis presents, describing him as one of the world's top fighters. Diaz pointed to Davis's impressive record and powerful punching, but he also expressed strong confidence in Roach's abilities. He highlighted Roach's extensive experience, including his solid amateur background and the improvements Roach has made since their previous meetings. Diaz believes that Roach's familiarity with Davis, combined with his own growth as a fighter, could be key factors in a potential rematch.
James, for the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Wow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. All right, Brandon Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with Roberto Diaz. Roberto, good to see you as always.
Likewise, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, for sure. You're part of Lamont Roach's camp. Well, what's your official role for Lamont?
I'm an advisor for him.
Okay, so you guide him on how to make certain decisions?
Correct.
Okay.
We've been together for many years since his pro debut back in the days at Golden Boy, and after we both parted ways, we hooked up.
Okay, that's pretty interesting because now that you guys are not with Golden Boy, you're still together. So
absolutely,
you guys must have had a good relationship when you were at Golden Boy.
Always had a good relationship with him and his father, and obviously I'm honored and just honored to be a part of him. And when I got the call to continue working with him, it was a no-brainer for me.
A lot of the boxing media and the boxing fans are overlooking Lamont Roach, and they're angry that Tank is getting fights against Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, these kind of guys. But what could you, from someone that's been with him from the beginning, what can you say about the talent level of Lamont Roach?
I don't blame the fans. but it's a little bit of the unknown for them. It's a little bit of they don't know who he is. On Saturday night, they're going to know who he is. They're going to respect him, and they're going to become fans. One thing about Lamont is he fought all the styles. The kid has the talent. The kid has the want, but he's never had the opportunity to be on this type of stage. Now it is. Now it's on him. He's put in the work. The talent's there. The hunger's there. He knows what a win means. And here's where it's important. The fans are okay not to know, because until they are introduced, like they know who Shakur is, they know who these other guys is. They'll know on Saturday. But most importantly, Tank knows what he's facing because he brought in two of the best trainers in boxing. Not one, but two, because he knows what he has in front of him.
Kenny Ellis, a coach in Davis's camp, defended the choice of Lamont Roach Jr. as an opponent, emphasizing Roach's impressive credentials as a 7-time national champion with a strong pedigree. Ellis acknowledged that while some fans may be critical of the matchup, underestimating Roach would be a mistake. He noted that both fighters have grown significantly since their amateur days, suggesting that a rematch would highlight their development and adaptability in the ring.
Do you feel like that fight with Tank, the rematch with Roach, is bigger than perhaps a Shakur Stevenson fight now?
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me why.
Yeah,
Tell me.
He got in the ring. He got in the ring with Tank with no hesitation.
Okay.
For the hell of a fight, you know. Everybody want to see it again, and Shakur's last 3 fights, they criticized him, you know, because of his style of fight. No offense to him, but this is the reality. People criticize him because of the way he fight, you know, and they don't want to see that. They rather see Roach again. You know?
Who do you think will come out on top this time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to see who you're backing for the rematch.